advice to Nigerian youth is for them to find the way, because they are more than 70% of the population. What we are talking about is their country, is their future, not their country. What we are talking about is their future. And I feel sometimes from when time my mind goes to the Nigerian youth, if it is 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., I will not close my eyes till the following morning, because the weight of the problem on them is too gargantuan. I mean, the way the youth are being treated is unspeakable. When I see the Nigerian youth, people, the children of 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, I'm always moved to tears. Why should these innocent children be subjected to this kind of rubbish? They didn't beg us to bring them to the world. They didn't choose that they were going to stay in this kind of country. You ask a child, a 14-year-old child, to wake up at 4 a.m. because he's going to do a jump.
That wouldn't happen in your days.
No. Obasanjo created JAMB in 1978. He created quota system, created federal character, because it was being teleguided by Yaradua, who was his number 2, who was actually effectively the head of state. And the agenda was to slow down the South so that the North could catch up educationally, academically. But it was a wrong approach. It's a wrong approach. You cannot ride down a horse because you wanted a snail to catch up with the horse, and that's what they did to the South. Tie down the horse, and in the hope that snail can crawl, or a tortoise can crawl and they meet the horse. I mean, at independence, I think there are less than 20 secondary schools in the entire northern region. But before the end of the 18th century, we already had graduates, lawyers, doctors in the southern part of Nigeria. And now to imagine that by creating federal character, by creating quota system, by creating JAMBAFORITI, you could.
What's JAMBAFORITI?
JAMBAFORITI was the name I gave to JAMB in 78. I wrote a beautiful article on it. Sorry that I call it beautiful, because it was beautiful. It was a heart-rending article. At the time I was writing, I was in pains. I said, this is JAMBAFORITI. And I've been proved right since then. This is JAMBAFORITI. So a child will have 6 credits with maybe 4 credits and 3 distinctions at school side, or even 4 distinctions and 3 credits. That should qualify the person to go straight to the polytechnic or club education or go to university. Then you say the person should go and do a JAMB. And then the person who do JAMB will fail, will do JAMB and fail, when we also know that's as 82, 83, 84, there were people who didn't do JAMB at all, and results were programmed and printed out, indicating that they did JAMB, indicating that they passed. Some people went to court if I remember, in late 80s, 88, 89, I can't remember the exact time, when they found that people didn't write JAMB, were giving JAMB results. All in this, in videos, unthinkable attempt to slow down the progress of the people in the South. I mean, how do you think a child who scored 5 distinctions and denied admission to university and subjected to cruel JAMB 4 or 5 times, how did such a person would love Nigeria, or would be loyal to Nigeria, or be patriotic, or will forgive Nigeria, or will forgive a situation that created that kind of is it block or whatever on his way? It's not possible. So I pity them. I feel, as I'm talking, I feel sad that our children have, and not when they say, okay, let them jackpot, let them. How many people can jackpot? How many people?
That's exactly the issue, the jackpot syndrome.
How can they do? We have about 250. We have more. We have about we have 232 million people now. Although we don't have any reliable census figures, but
some are even putting it at 240.
They put it, they say 240. You know, how many of them, all those that have left so far, are not up to 1 million? So what is happening to the remaining? How many people can go? Some people sold their houses, some parents sold their houses, sold their cars, so that they could have their children go abroad. Now the economy of the world has collapsed. The Nigeria has killed its own currency, the national pride. That you now have 1 million naira in your account, which is less than is it, what is 1 million now? What is it in dollars?
Around $100.
I mean, what is it? What is it? 10 years ago, $100 was 10,000 naira. But $100 now, how much is that? It's more than 10 million. So how many parents can afford to a school fees in Canada? Maybe sometime 18,000, 20,000, or maybe 18, 15,000
dollars, Canadian dollars.
Yes. Now, put that into naira. How many parents? Unless you are in Abuja, or you are in government houses, or you are in government offices. How many Nigerians will afford that? They sell Orogbo, whatever. What is Orogbo?
Bitter cola.
In Canada now, Orogbo is bitter cola is about $3.